The compound was alive with music. Drums beat loudly as women in colorful wrappers and gel danced in circles. Baskets of yam, bottles of palm wine, and crates of malt were carried in proudly by the bride's family. Men in kaftans and agbadas clapped to the rhythm, spraying money as the MC shouted into the microphone. "Ladies and gentlemen, today our daughter becomes a wife. Let the world celebrate love." Ngozi walked in, her waist tied with a rich Ankara wrapper, coral beads glowing around her neck. She knelt before her in-laws, smiling as her friends cheered. Her husband-to-be looked dashing in a white kaftan, standing tall with pride. Everyone said she was lucky. Everyone said he was a good man. Everyone said this marriage would last forever. Ngozi believed them. She thought her life had just begun. But behind the colors of tradition, behind the laughter and the spraying of money, the true test of marriage was waiting. At first, everything seemed fine, but slowly, cracks began to show. It started with small things, sharp words spoken in anger. Then came long nights of silence. Then came the late returns, the unanswered calls, the excuses. Ngozi's friends noticed her smile fading. But when she spoke of her worries, they laughed it off. "Ngozi, all men are like that, just endure. Marriage is not easy, it is your duty to make it work." So, she endured. She cooked, she prayed, she stayed. Even when the signs grew louder, perfume that wasn't hers, lipstick stains on his shirt, whispers in the neighborhood about another woman. When she asked questions, his words cut like knives. "Ngozi, you are too suspicious. You don't respect me. Is this how a good wife behaves?" The weight grew heavier each day. She smiled at parties, dressed beautifully at church, and walked beside her husband like the perfect wife. But inside, she was breaking. One evening, after another argument that ended with slammed doors, Ngozi sat alone in the kitchen. The pot of soup on the fire had grown cold. Her children were asleep, and in that silence she whispered to herself, "If I stay here, I will lose myself. I will die in silence." That night, she did not sleep. She thought of her mother's words. She thought of society. She thought of the shame, but she also thought of her children. What lesson was she teaching them? That love means suffering? That marriage means silence? By dawn, she had made her decision. Before the sun rose, Ngozi packed a small bag. Just clothes for the children, just the essentials. No shouting and no drama, no long explanation. She tied her wrapper firmly, took her children by the hand, and walked out of the house she once called home. At first, people mocked her. Some said, "She will return when she's hungry." Others whispered, "She has failed in marriage." But Ngozi did not return. She struggled. She sold food by the roadside. She braided hair in the evenings. She cleaned houses when she had no other choice. It wasn't easy. There were nights she cried herself to sleep. There were days she doubted her decision. But slowly, life began to change. She found peace in her small victories. She found joy in her children's laughter. She discovered strength she never knew she had. Years later, people saw her again, not the timid, broken woman they remembered, but a strong, confident mother who had built her own life. And all because she chose to walk away. Sometimes, walking away is not giving up. Sometimes, walking away is choosing life. If you were Ngozi, what would you have done? Endure the pain for the sake of marriage, or walk away to protect your peace? Do you believe walking away is weakness or true strength?